Hi, sixth grade. It's Mrs. Lott here, and I am so excited to be with you today. You get to do the very first sixth grade breakout of the school year. Some of you may not know what a breakout is, but we're going to talk about what that is today. It's a super fun activity that involves critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, and communication. Your team is going to be given a box, a big box that has 4 locks on it, and a small box that has 1 lock on it, as well as a folder that contains some clues. So your task will be to see how you can get the box open. So behind me here, you're going to see that I have the learning objective posted. I'm also going to move to it here. Let's see if it'll, good. All right, so your learning objective today is we want you to collaborate and communicate with your team to unlock the locks and open the box to be able to complete this challenge. I'll talk about 2 of those key words in just a moment. Your language objective is that you're going to be using a skill called inference. You are going to infer the correct combinations to the locks by recalling geography skills and by using the clues in your folder. So efficient teams do not randomly guess the combinations to locks. Efficient teams look at the clues that they have and decide how to use them to help figure out the combinations to the locks. So before we get moving into what we're actually going to do, I want to do a quick little pre-assessment by asking you one question. Let's see if we're there. Okay, behind me is the same screen. So using a fist of 5, that means show me 1 finger, 2, 3, 4, or 5. How fun is learning? So if I ask you this question, I mean just in general. It doesn't matter what class it is. It doesn't matter which teacher. I want you to think, reflect, and also hold up on your hand so your classmates can see you. Plus there's teachers in the room right now, so they want to see how fun do you think learning is. If you think it's really super fun all the time, every day, you're going to show a 5. All the way down to a 1. You can use your thumb or your pointer finger for that one if you think that learning is not fun. So take a second to show that. Good deal. All right, moving on. So I want to set the tone for why we're doing this. Okay, I do many breakouts with many teachers throughout the school year, but the very foundation of the why we do this is to build our 21st century skills. You're definitely using your geography knowledge today. You're definitely reviewing things you've learned in geography, but the important, really, really important things that transfer in life are critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, and communication. So as you're working today, I want you to be aware of how are you problem solving? How are you figuring things out? What's your creativity like? If we told you the combinations to the locks and you open the locks, that would be easy. You wouldn't have to use any creativity to think about how that clue might help you. You definitely are placed in a team today on purpose, because if each one of us was doing this on our own, it would take us 4 or 5 times the amount of time to get the box open. So there's power in collaboration. You have a team for a reason. You can split up the clues and you can help each other out. And also, lastly, communication. We have to talk to each other. We have to communicate with each other in order to be an effective team. Your reflection today, so at the very end of class, after you've gotten into the box, is going to be doing some writing as a team, and that's based on these 4 C's. So I just want you to have the heads up so you can be thinking about that as you work. Okay? All right, awesome. So question is, how are you going to do that today? Let me move that over to here. Perfect. I want to make sure you feel comfortable using these locks. So quickly, I'm going to go through them. The 3 and the 4-digit locks are probably the easiest. Okay. On the little box, there's a 3-digit lock. When you try to solve the right solution, you're looking at the skinny side. Okay. On the skinny side, there's 3 little windows. There's a number at the top, middle, and bottom. And so if you thought the combination was 1, 2, 3, you would move the dial to the 1, 2, 3. Then you would gently pull, and it would open if it's the correct combination. Okay. The important thing about this is you're not holding it like this and using it, because then the dials don't spin. Whenever there's there's tension on there, the dials don't spin right. So you're going to leave the box sitting down, okay, if this was the table, and you're going to spin it to what combination you believe is correct. And when that comes off, then you are into the small box. Okay. The 4-digit lock works exactly the same way, except that there's 4 numbers instead of 3. Okay, so when you're looking at it, you'll see the window on the skinny side. Number at the top is the first number, all the way to the bottom is the 4th number. Okay, but it works the same way. Another really easy one is the key lock. Okay, so I'm sure many of you can figure this one out. You need a key in order to get this lock open. And as you look at your clues, your team will discover how you get that key. Lastly, there's 2 locks on the end. These ones are the trickiest, and that's why I put them on the end. They're easiest to see. So there's one that is going to have just letters only, and we call this the word lock. Okay, so there's only letters on it. When you're holding it, you want to make sure that the letters are not upside down. If they're upside down, then you're holding it upside down. So you're going to put in the solution you think is correct, going from the left to the right. You'll notice that these dials, there's 5 of them, they each have a letter that's a bump. It's kind of, it's raised, okay? The only reason it's raised is that it helps you spin the individual dials. So that is not a clue at all into what the correct answer is, okay? But if you do have the correct answer, you're lining it up exactly on this white line all the way over to the arrow on the breakout. If you have it correct, then I want you to hold, I'm gonna show you this way, hold the ends firmly and then pull up. If you hold it this way and you're covering up the dials, your hand turns them slightly and it becomes the wrong combination and it won't open, okay, even if you have the right one. So on this lock, you want to make sure you firmly have the ends pulled. The arrow lock or the directional lock is the same way. It works exactly the same. You want to make sure it's not upside down. There's arrows and there's letters, but I will tell you for this game today, you only have arrows to unlock this lock, so you can ignore all of the letters. But the letters can help you by making sure the lock is not upside down. Okay, so you make sure it's the right way. You're going to start on the left, you're going to go over to the right. That is your combination, 5 arrows, 5 directions. Okay, so those are how you use the locks. Hopefully that helps you out quite a bit. All right, let's move on to the next slide. Number 7. All right, so to use collaboration and communication, you're going to talk to each other. Obviously, you have to talk to each other. This is not a quiet, silent activity. But I caution you, don't talk too loud because every team in this room has the same solutions to their locks. You don't want them to hear the correct answer if you worked really hard with your team to get it, okay? Another way you show collaboration is you split up the clues. Okay, you decide who's going to do which ones. You can solve these in any order. There's not a first, second, third, fourth, fifth. You can divide and conquer, if you know that term. Share your thinking out loud. Share your strategies. Ask questions. Say to each other, I wonder if this means blank, or what do you think this means? Okay, another thing you can do is encourage each other, both with your words and your body language. So you can high five each other, you can fist bump, you can say, right on, we did it, or you can say, woohoo. So do be encouraging to each other, and then think outside of the box. Okay, get that pun, outside of the box. Ha ha ha. Okay, let's go on to the next slide. All right, some tools that you have. All right, you have a folder. Okay, so in your folder are some clues. I am not going to give directions on what all of them are because part of this game is that you open it up and figure out what to do with them. There also are resources in your social studies classroom that will help you, and we'll make sure you have scratch paper. Please only write on the scratch paper. Let me say that again. Please only write on the scratch paper. Okay, in your folder, please don't write on any of the paper clues. There is one exception, however. Okay, this word search is laminated, and you can write on that with an expo marker. Okay, so this is the one thing you can write on because we'll erase it. These clues are going to be used for multiple classes. Otherwise, you need to write on scratch paper. You will also have a black light. You don't see it right now, but as you solve some clues, you will figure out how to get that black light, which could indicate that there is some invisible ink on your clues. So once you have that light, that will help you. You also have 2 hint cards, okay? Only use these if your entire team agrees that you need help, okay? So we don't want to take a hint card from you and then give you a hint to get you on track unless your whole team decides, yep, we're stuck. We have no idea which way to go. We need some help. Because as you notice, you only get 2 of them. So that's only 2 times that you get help throughout this outside of your team. Also, we will put up a timer. That timer will show you how much time you have left. Typically, it turns out to be between 30 and 35 minutes, depending on when you get started and when we need to stop class at the end. All right, so that timer will be up for you. All right, this one's really important to me. As you do get the locks open, I need you to hand them to a teacher right away. Please do not lock them back up. Please do not spin it closed. Please do not change the combination, okay? We have to, sorry about that, relock these many times today, and it helps us out so very much if you just hand that lock, that open lock, to a teacher that is helping today. So, what are you going to do when you open a lock? Everyone say, give it to a teacher. Okay. Next up, we're almost done. Thanks for your attention. All right, as you finish up and you get your box open, you will receive a reflection activity. It's going to be one paper for the whole team. You're going to take turns writing out your responses to the questions that are on there. Remember, those are based on the 4 C's and the geography content that you're working on today. All right. All right, you are off and away. I believe that you are set. I will have a short little slideshow at the end as well, a little recording for you to see. But otherwise, I wish you good luck. We're excited to see your thinking, and we'll be around to take some pictures too. All right, good luck.